Yo guys, what's going on? Today I've got a different style of video for you guys. It's actually going to be how do I call this? Like a educational video. And it's going to be on gyro. So if you don't know what gyro is, it's a new Fortnite setting that they added to the game where pretty much I'm like right now I'm moving. Here, let me show you the settings. So pretty much in settings, I have it both on always, so gyro is always activated. So right now, I'm all, like, me doing these movements and me building like this, I'm doing with my hands. Like, I'm not moving my, stick, I'm moving, like, my actual controller. So I'm pretty much just moving my controller from side to side, does this. It moves it, like, going up and down, makes it go up and down. So, really cool setting. But for one, we gotta figure out, is it really worth using? So I'm also gonna show you guys the best settings. So gyro aiming on if you want to try this and you want to use this. Active mode. So what you can do is you can make it so it's never active when you're combat. So combat is like anything but building and editing. Scope only, so snipers and MK7 assault rifles. Scoper aiming, so like snipers, MK7, or any gun that when you're aimed down sights. Scope aiming or harvesting, so when you're harvesting your pickaxe, or always, so scope, aiming, harvesting, and just when you're looking around like to shoot a shotgun shot. Building, you can do editing, none, or always. Stick effect, pretty much you can read it. Setting to disables can make it easier to adjust your camera with the look stick. So, enables, I didn't find, I think it's better. I'm trying to say, I didn't try this out for very long, guys, but I'm assuming, I think that, in my opinion, enables is better, because I feel like just my movements are much more clean. Now, going back to this, sensitivity. This is the default. I just have it as 1, which is a default. The ratio. You're going to want this equal to each other. I like 1-1 as my ratio. Acceleration. You can really do anything you want, but I found low 1.5 works the best for me. But here is the big stuff. Advanced gyro options I would put on. So you have all like this extra settings so you can make it really how do I put this? Really advanced, really exactly how you want it. Flick stick. This is probably the OP thing about gyro. Gyro isn't that good. It's like just like another way to play Fortnite, but flick stick is broken. So let me show you what flick stick does. So turning this on, so if I can turn around like this, or this, or this, or normally at a stick I can move around with the thumbstick, but with flick stick, so this is what happens when I hit my flick stick backwards. I instantly turn to the back. I can do it to the side. And I just hit it one time, and it fully does that full rotation. So flick stick is really good. So if you're using gyro always, then obviously you would want to have flick stick on. But if you're not going to use gyro always, then you can't have flick stick on, or you'll not be able to use your thumbsticks. So what I'd also recommend doing in your settings is having a gyro modifier, which is crouch, and slide for me. So if I hold my crouch and slide button, so like if I hold it, then I can adjust my controller around however I want, and only flick stick will work. My gyro won't work. Now, the next setting is flick stick. What do you want? So, what I found is the default is really nice. The only thing I could say you might want is the rotation smoothing threshold, which I think it's pretty smooth, but you can make it higher and it's a little bit more smooth, but I think you should keep it at the default. But the only different thing that I might change is the speed. Maybe go higher, because it just means it really just makes you spin faster and spin a little farther, but I don't really think that's that big of a deal. I like it, and you can change the forward dead zone, like of how much you're gonna turn. But I found all the default to work pretty well for me. Now, advanced gyro sensitivity. So, scoped like with the MK7, I found 0.66 to work pretty well for me. So, as you can see here, and you can still use the flick stick with it. So, I found this to work pretty well. And shotgun aiming, I found 0.88 to work really well, because I'm using, because normally in this game right now, you're going to be using the MK if you're scoped in. You're not going to be using the Ranger, or the SMG you could use scoped in, but you're going to be at closer range with the SMG. So I thought I'd make that higher than the scoped. I almost just left creative. Jeez, oh man. So I would recommend turning that to 0.6 and 0.88. Harvesting multiplier, I just kept the same because I don't really think harvesting's that big of a deal. Building and editing, I like to make a little bit higher just so I can have that little extra boost so I don't have to really move my controller around too much in my lap when I'm building. And zoom scale sensitivity. Reduces your aiming sensitivity automatically depending on how much you're zoomed in. I have that on just because if I'm aiming at a really long target and I'm trying to hit, like, let's say I'm trying to hit this orange thing, okay? So I don't want to have it be like super fast, like I'm moving all over the place. I want it slower so I can easily hit that target. Now, the next setting is going to be, let's see here, advanced gyro orientation. So these, I would just keep all of them normal. Unless you wanna, the only other stuff, this inverts or disables moving this around. So you can invert it, so going up goes down, and going left goes right, and stuff like that. So I would keep that all the same, unless you want to invert your stuff, or you might mess it up. So just keep that all the same. Oh, and one more thing, advanced gyro filters. Keep this all, or filter controller vibration, turn that on. Because turning it off, the controller can vibrate sometimes when you're doing certain things, and you do not want that. Because I personally don't like vibration. I know a lot of people don't like vibration, so you just want to turn that on and keep these all default. Now, the last thing is, like, is it actually good? What do you actually want? So I personally, unless you're like used to gyro or you've used it in other games, I don't think, if you're already pretty good, like I'm okay on gyro, but I'm already really good normally. So I'll show you a comparison of my skill with gyro and versus without gyro. So what I would do is I would just not use gyro for always, or I would definitely not use it for building. Maybe for aiming. Keep in mind you do get no aim assist though. But so here are what I think is best settings. I would say turn no on for building, so it's never active. But combat is a big one. What I would say to do is put it on either scope only or scope or aiming. And here's why. So if I only put gyro, oh, by the way, I almost just forgot about this. Flick stick, you have to have gyro always on or you won't be able to move your stick normally. So I have to take this off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so I have gyro off. I have gyro off right now. So I have it only on for aiming, okay? So let's say I'm aiming. So keep this on if you want gyro. The best settings, I would keep this on, aiming and scope, so I can be like this, quickly flick around, because this is my normal sensitivity. This is normally flicking around. That is slow. But if I'm like this and like this, I can flick around pretty quickly. Now, the next thing is gyro with the MK7. So this, in my opinion, is the biggest one, scope or aiming or scope only. So scope only works for guns with scopes like the MK7. So let's say I was trying to hit this point. So if I aim down, okay, I have no recoil because I'm blocking the recoil because I'm aiming down. But since I have flick stick off, I can move my stick normally. This is me moving my stick normally. This isn't any gyro or anything. I'm just moving it normally. But if, okay, get ready for this, because this is where it gets crazy. If I aim my MK down, I aim it down so there's no recoil, and then I shoot, pretty much no recoil. So when I go on, aim down, and then just go up with this. I can shoot wherever I want, no recoil. So if you need, like, if you guys still don't understand, so aim in, tilt your controller down with gyro, and then just tilt it up. And you can just move it however you want when you're normally aiming. So let me just put it on here, and then boom, I'm hitting it like every single time. You literally get no recoil with gyro. So it is honestly broken. So that's what I would recommend doing. I recommend turning everything off, but active mode for scope only. But I'm still gonna keep it off because honestly, I don't think it's that much of a big deal considering even when you only have scope only, you get no aim assist on scope. So honestly, guys, my final thoughts on gyro: just turn it off, don't do it, and see ya. Peace, enjoy, like, subscribe.